play you the Jake Hudson video.
You can't watch that.
Hi guys, this here requested by April M. Holt.
He said my name.
April M. Holt. April M. Holt requested this video. I just saw you requested this.
He said my full name.
What the fuck is all that?
I don't know.
Are those fillings or root canals?
Could we get Jake to call in and tell us what the black things are?
I want to know what's going on with the teeth.
Thank you, Jake, for doing my video request, though.
All right, we got a call coming in.
Call from
Wall mounter.
Wall mounter, that was it.
I could have told you that.
Wall mounter, what's up, buddy?
So you gave me the wrong number earlier. I called in some calling center, asked for my name. I said wall mounter, and they're like, excuse me? But anyway, so, yeah, me, Celtic Pride, a bunch of friends were at Jimmy's Poorhouse, and sitting across from me was the whole Rockin' 101 crew.
Fun.
None of us knew. Yeah, we didn't know it was the Rockin' 101 crew, but they had Rockin' 101 t-shirts on, and we could hear them talking about radio stuff. And I had a steel toe shirt on, and I noticed everybody started doing that thing where you, like, pretend you're looking behind somebody, but they're looking at you, you know?
Yes.
They're turning around looking at my shirt.
So they saw the shirt and they...
And,
okay. That pissed him off a bit?
Nice, sexy shirt.
Oh, yeah. So within, like, 2 minutes of everybody turning around looking at me, the guy in the corner, which we later found out was Gary, but we didn't know who it was at the time,
Yeah.
just fucking lost it. He's just... I'm sick of fucking hearing about Aaron fucking Imholt. And he said he was going off about fucking t-shirts, and he was doing a little bit of counting how much money you make.
Oh, he was counting our money? What was he saying about the money we make?
Give us details.
Like figuring out what you were making an hour. I wasn't sitting at the table. So
what was his theory? Did he have a theory about how much money we make in an hour?
I do not know.
Oh.
I think he said like $190 an hour or something.
Fucking nice.
Divided between 5 people, and yeah.
Well, I mean that would still be like $40 an hour.
Pretty great.
I mean,
and he bitched about podcasts for
I've heard this
a good 20 minutes, and how he guarantees if he did this and this, and he could fucking do it too. And
oh yeah, well then why didn't you, man?
So was he like yelling this in your direction, or was he just upset at his table?
Well, he was facing me in the corner of his table.
Yeah.
But he was loud enough to, like, I feel like he was being loud enough to make sure that we could hear.
Got it.
So
the conversation.
So he was really insecure about your steel toe shirt and decided to talk loudly, trashing the show you like, to try and make a point that he wasn't impressed by you.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And see, at the time, we didn't know it was Gary, and we were looking back and forth at each other like, who the fuck is this guy?
So,
well, next time when you find out if you know it's Gary and you hear that conversation again and he's wondering about our money, just make sure you look at him and go, hey, Gary, Aaron told me to tell you, don't worry about his money. It's more than you were paying him.
Yeah, Mr. Hold the Fire.
I wanted to ask him if I could get a picture with him with my shirt on, because they all had Rockin' 101 shirts.
That would have been really funny. So he just sat there bitching about podcasts and how much money we make and
how he could do it too.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
Well, I mean, technically,
but,
technically, if it was $190 an hour divided by 5 people, and one of them's April, that means I take 2 of those. That means $80 an hour times $40 a week. Well, thanks, Gary. That's like 150,
raise.
160 grand a year.
I know.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for the estimate.
He might have been saying $1.90 an hour. I don't know.
Oh,
if
he's
he just
okay.
said $1.90.
Well, Gary, if we were making $1.90 an hour, I'd be foreclosed from my house. I'd be homeless, for fuck's sake.
Right.
Yeah.
Go
He
ahead.
seen the shirt and got super, super insecure about it.
It's that you
that
know what
was the
though?
talk of the table for.
That sounds like Gary. That insecurity, and I love that he's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about Aaron and Steel Toe, because that means that he's fucking still 2 years later hearing about how Steel Toe made it. Steel Toe left, and they're doing pretty well on the internet and everything like that. And he's got to swallow that fucking pill, boy. And all because he saw your shirt and lost his mind.
Oh, yeah, that hurt his feelings a little bit.
How great that he just saw a Steel Toe shirt and it set him off.
So, for anyone local here that wants to know, Jimmy's is like the Rockin' 101 hangout spot. They go there like every day for lunch. So make sure next time you go, you wear your Steel Toe shirts.
Wow, is that great? Okay. Anything else specifically you remember? I know it's broad strokes and you can't hear every second of the conversation, but it was mostly just the money thing. He's tired of hearing about Aaron, and podcasts are for fucking losers.
Yep. And at the very end of it, he said, well, now that I got that out of my system or whatever, and then they kind of went back to mingling, but he made sure it was loud enough that we could hear it at our table.
That sounds a little insecure. That sounds like someone saw their ex-girlfriend and decided to like make out with the nearest person to show that they're totally fine.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I love that. I'm tired of hearing about Aaron. I love that he worries about our money. And I love that he's always said that about podcasting. I could do a podcast and I could draw this and I could. Gary, you have a fucking radio station and you can't draw flies to shit. So how do you think you're going to go on the internet where you don't have a thing where people have to turn on the radio, where they can just ignore you outright on the internet worldwide? You can't even draw a fucking audience when people are made to listen to you. And you think you're going to do it on the internet? I got bad news for Gary. He's not entertaining. He can't fucking broadcast. Gary, no offense, but if your parents weren't in this fucking business, if they didn't build you a job, you wouldn't have made it. You wouldn't have been able to be a broadcaster because you're not funny, you're not likable, and you have nothing interesting to say. So, anyway, Wall Mounter, thank you very much for that intel and that report. We'll be sure to post this little 7 to 10 minute clip on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely, thank you.
I mean, I got to do something to earn that $1.90 an hour. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Wall Mounter. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Bye.
Dude, do you remember at the end of the radio days when you had to tell Gary to call me personally to apologize for sexually harassing me? And instead, when he called me, he proceeded to say, I had no idea who you were. I still don't know your name. But then he did 45 minutes on a conversation with just me about how much he hates podcasts.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't 4 months later and we were doing this.
Oh, that guy is a fucking mess. They're calling him Gary from the poorhouse.
You know what, though? He'll figure it out someday.
Gary is listening right now, losing his shit. Probably. Probably. Yeah, if you guys ever hear Gary going bananas and you ever hear Gary losing his shit and getting all butthurt about Steel Toe, please feel free to share with me those stories. Wake me up in the middle of the night. I love that shit.
That would be fun.
Oh.
Definitely always wear your shirts out and about just for that reason.
I'm tired of hearing about Aaron. Well, guess what? You're going to keep hearing about him because I got way more viewers and listeners than you do. Even in your own town, I have more. I mean, we have them all over the place now, but even in your own place that you broadcast in, I have more than you. I mean, we have what? We have 40,000 a month. They have maybe 5,000.
Boy, boy, that's generous.
Maybe 5,000.
That was generous.
Because I know when we were at our peak, we were at 10 or 12.
Did you not just say that the last ratings that came out showed that 1% of this area was listening to them?
The morning show.
Right.
Well, let's see. What's
That's
two?
not
Okay, so
5,000
2%
even.
of the people listening, 200,000 people, and there's probably 100,000 that listen to radio. 2% of that, so they have 2,000 listeners. Holy shit! Their whole fucking station has 2,000 listeners. Isn't that 2% of 100,000?
Yeah, I think so. You're screwing me up now.
Oh my
You're
God.
on your own with this one.
They only have 2,000 listeners.
Dude, it's bad. It's bad news.
That's
no
really
wonder they
bad.
can't stop hearing about steel toe, and they don't,
Right.
they can't handle it.
Well, you know what the sad thing is? A lot of those people who Gary has to hear about steel toe from, they have to go, oh, you're at Rockin' 101? Oh, yeah, I missed it when you guys had steel toe. I really loved that show. That was great.
That's the only reason people know what Rockin' 101 is.
Dude, that's got to, I never realized that.
either.
That's got to drive him insane.
You are the only reason they ever knew what Rockin' 101 was.
With Johnny Rock doing a 0.0 18 to 34.
Yeah.
And then, this clip's going up tonight. With that drawing dick, people probably talk to Gary around town. They're like, oh, what station? He's like, Rockin' 101. And they're like, oh, you guys still got that steel toe guy? That show's so fucking funny. What?
Right.
Oh, no. And then Gary probably alienates those people because he can't help himself, and he goes on a rant at them like, no, they went podcasting where losers go, the internet, and you make $1.90 an hour, and I could start a podcast, and if I did one, podcasts are bullshit, right? Podcasts fucking suck. And the guy's just sitting there going, yeah, totally. And then he tells all his friends, the guy who owns Rockin' 101 is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Don't mention steel toe around him. He goes on some kind of rant. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I suppose I'll hear about it when I go listen to steel toe later.
He'll berate your women, too, for whatever their body looks like.